Hey the YouTubes, Gundy 73, trying out a new background and doing another video today, this time on factory second knives, or Blems as they're called. Now, I mean, and when I think of factory seconds, I mean there are a handful of companies that sell them, but at least in my opinion, Kershaw ZT is the one that comes to the forefront because they have pretty much everything available as a second in one form or another. And I mean, some companies don't release seconds at all, like Chris Reeve. They don't. I don't know how many seconds they even have, because it's not even public knowledge. Then you have some companies like, say, Spyderco, where they have a much smaller yearly sale of seconds, and they're still kind of highly priced. I mean, whereas, say, a military is usually 140, I think you might be able to get it at like $80, maybe $85 as a second. Which some people, it's still a good deal, but I'm saying, these kind of blems are even cheaper, I think, and you can get a better bang for your buck. Just my opinion. So, I mean, what's the logic with buying a second? Well, it costs less money. That's the first thing. You know, that's the main reason you're buying a second. But you're giving up a few things, like the knife won't be perfect, and it won't have a warranty in general. Now, the interesting thing, in my opinion, is these are two from Kershaw and ZT, which is essentially the same company. We have a JYD2 composite blade. Now, when I got this first, you can see it is marked a blend with those 4 X's. I had no idea what the second was, and I still really don't know. I mean, my leading theory is there's a small, I'm just try and zoom in on this, just a small little mark right here in the composite blade part. I mean, it's really hard to see. It basically just looks like a little mark or a notch right in here. And it doesn't affect performance at all. This knife flips really smoothly for just a normal non-bearing pivot, this bronze phosphor washers on there. The centering is pretty good, doesn't rub, and the lockup is rock solid. I mean, these are the kind of blems that you hope you get. I mean, this knife could easily be passed off as new in box. I mean, if it wasn't used and rusted by me, they could easily sell this as new in box, but they still categorize it as a second. Really, when you're dealing with blemishes, at least in my opinion, there's 2 things that can happen that can be wrong with the knife. You can have a cosmetic problem, which is what you're hoping for when you buy a blem, like say a scratch in the blade or a marred coating or whatever. That's easy because the function of the knife is unaffected. It just looks, and if you're going to use your knives, you might as well buy that second. But the other problem is mechanical seconds, and this is where it gets sort of like into a grab bag type of deal, where you don't really know what you're going to get. I mean, and that brings me to the second knife here. This is my ZTO 350 composite blade. Now, this knife has both cosmetic and it has mechanical blems. So as you can see, there's a pretty good scratch on the side of the blade there. I don't really care. But what I do care about is the blade play in every single direction. You hear that? I mean, it's pretty bad. And what's also weird is the torsion bar is broken like 5 times in this knife, at least. Why? I don't know. But, I mean, this is part of the whole thing when you buy a blem. You could have a knife, like this JYD, which is pretty much perfect, except for, a little insignificant mark. Or you can have a knife like this, which is, I haven't spine whacked it or anything, but I really wouldn't want to put this to any serious use simply because, it has a lot of blade play. Well, that might not be a problem, it kind of bugs me. So, just sort of a PSA on blems. I think if you want to get into a higher end knife at a lower end cost, then blems are great. Like I've seen ZTO300 Blems, the bigger tie frame lock version of this, for around 150, $150. That's a steal if you get one that's like this, with no real actual problems. So I mean, it's worth it, I guess. You can always resell it if it was a bad Blem. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you'll consider picking up a Blem someday if the opportunity arises. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.